Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome to the AFC North Talk presented by True Classic. True Classic, upgrade your shirt game with True Classic. Q's coming. Tony's on a boat. For now, me and Ace. But again, Q is coming soon. Who's going to be here? People that are on top. Let's be honest. Who else is going to be here? Right? That's how it is. But no, Q's coming. He should be here in a couple minutes. And then y'all know Tony's in the boat gambling his earnings away. But Ace, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Hold on. I gotta sneeze. Oh, whew. Oh, woo. Sorry, man. I had to grab some of this terrible towel. I got little allergies,
I saw that you sent
trash coolers around here. It's been pretty bad. It's going around.
Q's laughing on the. Okay, I'll put you backstage for a moment. Q was laughing on the Steelers. Toilet paper. Anyway, hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. Ace, I know Q. Hope Tony has been enjoying his Thanksgiving in the boat. How you doing, Q?
I mean, he had to go on vacation to enjoy it because he can't watch the Steelers and enjoy it. I understand where he's at. Football brought me no joy. I watched no football last night. I was like, nah, this is a day of thanks and giving. And you know what the Browns have done is not give or be thankful for anything. No, I'm not thankful for anything that they have been giving me. I ain't gonna even slip in no Bengal joke in there. So I'm gonna let it slide. You know what I mean? But y'all had a good Thanksgiving?
I did, man. So here's weird. My kids went to school. Nobody celebrates Thanksgiving, obviously, here in England.
Oh, yeah, because that's more or less, you know what I mean, the start of the downfall of the empire over there. Exactly. Ain't nothing to celebrate,
Don't celebrate it here. I did my own thing here with my daughters when I picked them from school, but it was weird. It's the third year. And it feels weird. It feels, because usually Thanksgiving, my whole thing was, cook. I put football at noon. Football here started at 6 p.m. And then Detroit couldn't give me the gift on beating the Bills. And, it is different. Definitely different.
The Bills are the Ravens from last year. The Ravens would just stumble into these victories. You know what I mean? That's how I feel like the Bills have been. They just been like, oh, yeah, we're going to accidentally win all of these games. Because they were looking dominant early, but now they just look like they look like a first round exit waiting to happen if they play the right team. They play the Bengals in the first round. I don't know if they want that.
Right now,
they are not the team that everybody. They were the champs of September. That's what they were, the champs of September.
Since Allen got hurt, right? Since Allen got hurt, they haven't been able.
I don't think he's hurt though, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not seeing him yesterday. He balled out technically. If we're going by the stats, he balled out yesterday. Yeah. I remember saying and putting money on that Vikings game, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna bet it because Josh Allen is hurt. Josh Allen didn't look hurt in that Vikings game, bro. He really
yesterday he didn't look hurt either. And the crazy thing is, think about this: how they're running him. He's hurt. You would think if he runs, he will slide more because he's hurt.
He's going right at linebackers like nothing happened.
He runs
he's Cam Newton. Yeah, he's Cam Newton. He's Cam Newton, except for they from two different worlds, right? Josh Allen is from Wyoming. I don't know what city in Wyoming. I don't know if they got cities. I think they feel like that's a state that only has townships over there. But he's from Wyoming and Cam is from Atlanta, Georgia. Could you think of two different? But they're the same exact dude. They are the same dude. They're just from two different parts of America. But they say football player, and Cam did that stuff too, right? Run straight into linebackers, and you love it when he run them over, but then he start getting hurt, and you like, Cam, slide. And his blood to slide. Same way, hey, did Josh Allen's blood to slide. Like, he just gonna have to run them boys over until he can't no more. And this is why Raven fans kind of had a point when everybody was like, look at Lamar Jackson's longevity. When we was looking at Cam Newton 2.0, and we know how Cam aged, right? Like, Cam was good and in like 3 years after he won that MVP, out the league almost.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you, bro, because I don't know. I just, like, how can you be hurt and have a hand injury and you're running straight at linebackers? Like, you wouldn't be doing that if it was like, you wouldn't be taking on unnecessary contact or putting that hand at risk if it really was that bad.
And he was zipping it. No, to be
or
fair,
elbow. I'm sorry, it's the elbow, right? Yeah, but he can extend it and stiff arm a linebacker. All right.
Dog, Cam Newton once got flipped upside down in the truck 3 times and then ran the ball 20 times in a football game right after that. Like, this, he's the same guy. They're both inconsistent, just like, Cam's not, they're both as inconsistent as passers as Cam was, right? Like, Cam would have great days.
That's the difference.
Cam had nothing, right? Like, compared to Cam had what? He didn't even have Steve Smith for that long, right?
Yeah, he had it for like 2 years or 3, maybe.
Yeah, and then he was out here throwing to Ted Ginn.
And Benjamin, remember Benjamin? And then he had
Kelvin Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin was like, I would have been better with any other quarterback. And then he played with any other quarterback and Nate Peterman. And then he realized.
That's right. Yeah, so that's Greg Olsen was his best thing for a little bit, Olsen, right?
For sure.
Well, your tight end is your best receiver. That tells you exactly what that situation has been. Shout out Lamar. You know what I mean? Because that's the life Lamar been living too.
Greg Olsen wish he was Mark Andrews. With that being said, Greg Olsen, by the way, great tight end.
No, but he's not Mark Andrews.
No, he's not Mark Andrews. But he was a very solid tight end. Anyway, we had a couple super tight ends, super chats. The day start on time, the world would end. Yes. It's okay. You expected that. It builds the hype. It builds the momentum. Brissett hopefully can get an ovation. He wasn't the problem.
Depend on what the score of the game is, because ain't nobody get no standing ovation. We down 30. You know what I mean? But if we up, he get that standing ovation. If we get to victory, Neil, he will get the standing ovation. If we don't,
how about in the presentation? The offense will
like we gonna stop the game, like is Drew Brees throwing the 9,000 touchdown or.
No. The starters, at least in Baltimore, I'm assuming every team's the same
way. They'll show him some love there probably in the opening pack. But I mean, like, he just starting his last game. He might be back next year too. Like, I don't know. This ain't like Jordan retiring. Like, again, if he gets to kneel this out, he'll get it. But like, we don't got to do all that extra and be like, we're going to stop the game and put a video package together.
No. Yeah, that would be stupid.
Or even during the timeout, be like, look at the video package and we're going to play this thing. Farewell to go. Like, he not retiring, y'all.
Exactly.
That's kind of wild.
No, you can't do that. You just
technically, you can make the argument that Jacoby Brissett has been one of the 5 best quarterbacks in Cleveland Browns history since 1999. Damn. It's a good argument. Well, you got Baker 2020. You got Derek Anderson 2007. That's the 2 locks.
Yeah.
Do you think he's been better than Brian Hoyer 2016, 2017? What was it? 2014 Brian Hoyer? I would make the argument statistically he was a better quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, you can make the argument that he's top 5 in Browns franchise history since 1999.
Preseason, we were talking about this Brown team running the game, running game, and good defense, right? And he has no help for that defense. The running game has been good, but the running defense, or not the running defense only, just the running or the passing and running, the whole defense has not been great. Passing has been better. The running, when Buffalo ran all over Cleveland and then went back to Detroit, they couldn't run again.
Oh, we're one of the worst run defenses in NFL history. Like, it's not even. I don't know if you saw the clip I put out on Twitter when I put like the music behind it. It's literally like it's art watching the Browns try to defend a run. It's art because like one guy gets out the way right after that, somebody else, and then somebody gets cleared on the double team, and then like 3 guys miss a tackle, and it all happens like right on top of each other. It's one of the most it's majestic. Like I'm not joking when I say the Browns are so bad that it's kind of beautiful the way like it's almost a religious experience. Like Antonio Brown tweeted about this, and I think the Browns defense is being robbed of the ability to watch themselves at Red Rock, because like if they could just see how smoothly they open up on a consistent basis, like just as like a point of reference, I think anybody who seriously looks at film in NFL should have to watch the Browns versus Bills game from yesterday, the defensive side of it, because it is some of the most like, oh my God, I didn't know a defense could be this bad tape on here. And it's like, sometimes it's like so bad, it's not fun to watch. This was like, I was mesmerized the whole time watching this Browns defense now to run. Like, it was like, oh my God, they're really this bad. It almost looks fake. Like, people are going to use these clips to say the NFL's rigged, because like, it looks like it's like they're like when you're watching a wrestling match and you get the ladder out and you can see all the gears move to get to the big ladder spot. That's what the Browns defense looks like right now.
Yeah. Especially that running defense. Definitely that running defense. The passing, I think
we don't even know how bad the pass defense is because it doesn't matter.
That's true. You just run the ball against the Browns.
Yeah, we can shut down Stephon Diggs by fielder's choice. You know what I mean? Why throw to Stephon Diggs when you could get 7 yards on first down?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Well, Joshua Matter here says, to make the playoffs, the Bengals likely need to win 4 more games. Which 4 games do you see us most likely winning? I will say this before I throw this ways. We're talking the Bengals. Like, I'm assuming, Joshua, you're basically saying, I'm assuming you're a Bengals fan as well, but you're assuming that the Ravens are winning the division. I mean, this question is framed that way, at least. So who you're competing with right now? The Bills, the Jets, the Patriots, and the Bengals, right? Assuming Miami wins, but one of those NFC East
Chargers as well.
Chargers are coming, right? Chargers are coming, but do they have? Chargers.
They actually just lost it. Since they lost, that put us into the wild card spot. So the Chargers and Jets losing helped us move up.
Yeah, Patriots lost on Thursday, right? So Patriots also lost. So I don't think you necessarily need to win 4 games. I think from the NFC East, one of them will be out. You can't. I'll highly doubt all 4 teams going. So that puts you with the Chargers and the other NFC East or AFC East. I don't know, Ace. What do you think?
I mean, it's hard to sit here and say which ones that are likely going to happen because you have the wild card of injuries. You just don't know what's going to really happen. I mean, there's
Can I modify
games
the
that
question?
I can point to. Go ahead.
Can I modify the question? Which 4 do you want the most?
Oh, Kansas City, I want that. Tennessee, I want that. Buffalo, I want that, and I would probably say Browns, Cleveland, I want that one too. I would say those are the 4 ones that I would want.
That's if you get those 4 that way.
You got to get over the Browns hump that you can't beat the Browns whatsoever. You got to mentally get over that. Kansas City, you got to want to try to beat the top seed in the AFC because you kind of get in their head because a lot of their fans are getting up for that game. They had that one circled. I've been hearing them in spaces. They already in our spaces now. Kansas City is one. The Bills, I just want that one just because of us coming off of a Super Bowl, being the AFC champs, and not being viewed as the favorite, and that it was like the Bills. Even I feel like the Chiefs got to feel some type of way about that, but they lost to them. So that Bills game, I got to see that. Burrow versus Allen, I got to see that one. So those would be the ones for me. I mean, the Titans, it doesn't really matter for me.
Like, the Patriots game is very important for you guys.
Patriots game, not. I mean,
if you lose to them and you're tied to in like a 7 seed,
Q was just asking me which ones do I want. So if
I got you.
Yeah, if we're just going off of that, like the Patriots one,
you would probably like for a realistic thing sub out the Browns.
But I want that. I want that. Josh Allen and the Bills are better than us. Yeah, I need that smoke at home. Kansas City, I need that smoke at home. I got to show that I can beat the Browns. The Bucs game, I don't know.
That's the least important, to be honest. That's the least important.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if there's anything really.
Like, if you have to rank all these games, right? In my opinion, the Bills and Patriots are top 2 games, right? Because those are right now teams that are in that wild card with you guys. Yeah. And then Chiefs, Titans, Chiefs, Titans, Browns, and the Ravens are just tied for the next pair, right? The Ravens are important if you're fighting for the winning the division. If not, it all depends if you're locking a seat or not. And the Browns, the what?
I said I ain't gotta do none of this math, man.
It just depends on. It really depends on what it looks like. I think week 17 because the Bengals last year they took the 4th seed because it's like, nah, let's just go ahead and get this 4th seed because that was the favorable path. To me, it all comes down to what's the best path. Like if you got the Chiefs, because the Chiefs and Bills are number 1 and 2 right now. But if you got those two guys in that bracket, I think you want to be in the other end of the bracket wherever that is, so you only have to play one of those teams instead of both of them.
Yeah, you want to play like closer to 5th, 6th. I concur. Okay, so here it has everyone QB wants Tom Brady longevity, but injury play style. Okay.
All right.
Q, your T is making me visualize static.
Because I had my Untitled and Filter background on.
Gotcha. Baker fell for
I did see that.
For another.
Why are they even interviewing that dude?
What did he say? I didn't even know. What did he say?
They interviewed him and he was like, they asked him about, I think, the QB room back in Cleveland. It was like he was at your old team, but they didn't say Cleveland. And then he was like, oh no, that's not my old team. I just played there or something like that. And so then he turned the question to it being about Oklahoma instead of addressing like the Cleveland Browns.
Oh no, he doesn't claim us anymore. I'm so sad.
Unclaimed.
I can't.
I don't even know why they're interviewing dude. Like he's
but trash. Look, he could not claim us all he wants, but if he wants to claim his best 2 years in football, guess where he got to come? Here, like, you know what I mean? Like the only place he's ever played in NFL professionally where he will ever have stands here. You know what I mean? The only place he's ever accomplished anything in football in the NFL professionally here. So like. Yeah, you don't claim us. Cool. Yeah, it's like Brett Favre trying to retire as a Viking, except for like instead of Brett Favre, it's like what Brad Childress or somebody like mediocre like that. What was the dude? He's back up
like
for the
Brett Favre that was on the Jets. It's like Jets Brett Favre.
Yeah, it's like Christian Ponder trying to act like he played anywhere other than Minnesota. Like, come on, dog. Do you remember if Christian Ponder played anywhere other than Minnesota? Because it never mattered outside of Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of what it is. Yeah, he was probably on somebody practice squad or something like that. Well, not practice squad, but on somebody roster. Who cares? Like, he didn't matter after he left Minnesota. Same way Baker just stopped mattering after he left.
Be in the XFL pretty soon if he don't tighten up. He gonna be out
I mean, I said this was a possibility in the offseason, and now people are seeing where I'm coming from because boy, did I get called an idiot and you're just a hater. And I'm like, nah, man, the way his circle is moving him, they're moving his ass directly to spring football. He would be great on spring football because he could talk during the game. He could do all that. Like, honestly, if he could get $10 million a year playing spring football, if I were Baker Mayfield, that's what I would want to do because he's not a professional. He's not a Sunday dude. He's not a Sunday starter no more. Like, this is not what it is. So, maybe he can make it work in the spring. That'd be better for him. He'd be the spring legend.
Bengals DA about to prove why Derrick Henry overrated.
I don't think Derrick Henry's overrated, but hopefully, I do hope in this game, which I'll talk about it later, that whole narrative of Derrick Henry was hurt. Hopefully we can put that to bed because he's fully healthy this game.
Noah Stone here says, what if Tom Brady prevent Bengals from making the playoffs?
We'll just have to see, man. We'll just have to see.
That would be so hard to have happen. Like the Bengals would have already fumbled like a bunch of games to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
For an NFC team to take you out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be honest, that of all the teams, the NFC is the least that counts for their playoffs.
They'll have 3 games after that game, so yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was joking about like maybe the Browns will spoil the Bengals season, but the only thing that really spoils like the division. Like we can't really take the season away from the Bengals. So or the Ravens. We don't play them late enough.
So with that being said, I threw the question out there in the chat. Ravens, Jaguars. Let's start with this one. The kick at 1 p.m. Ravens, Jaguars. I think the Jaguars, last time I checked, were -3.5. No. Ravens were -3.5. This game is in there in Florida, in Jacksonville. Ronnie Stanley, game time decision. Kyle Hamilton, game time decision. But Gus Edwards has been practicing, so the expectation is he's gonna be back. By the way, I'm gonna put, because I said it before, and I might eat my words this year, because I have been called a Najee Harris hater, and I was never a big fan of Trevor Lawrence either. So we'll see how that happens for me this week. But Ace, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, this game, I think when you look at it on the surface, similar to last week, even though I think this is a slightly better team than the Panthers, this just looks like it's set up for a Baltimore win, right? You're talking about a Jaguars team that at the beginning of the year seemed like they showed some promise. They really kind of fell off of the rails here. And then when you really look at a lot of the numbers here, DVOA, offense, defense, and special teams all favor the Ravens. Turnover differential, Baltimore with the splits is number 1 in the league on that. Rushing offense, they're number 1. Run defense, they're number 3. You look at the total offense, Jacksonville, for some reason, gets the edge there with 4th and then 7th with their defense. But when I look at the red zone scoring for Jacksonville, I just can't see how this team can end up putting up enough points against a team like Baltimore in this one. The only thing that I feel like the Jags actually do well is protecting their quarterback. That's been kind of a surprise for them. They're number 1 when it comes to offensive line sack percentage. You look at the EPA, they barely outgrade Baltimore. They're 9th. Baltimore's 10th when you look at it from that standpoint. I just don't think that the Jacksonville Jaguars in a game against Lamar Jackson, an opponent that they're not really familiar with, can come out here and go out with a big win. The only way that I feel like Jacksonville wins this game, and I don't think it's likely, is if Baltimore comes out like they did last week. It was some questionable kind of slow starts to that game. I don't think that this Baltimore offense is an offense, even though it's been up and down. I don't think that you'll see 2 straight games of them having, single-digit points. I just don't see that happening. The game is on the road, so I don't know how I think the weather just gets better. It's not like the weather's going to get worse because you're in Baltimore around this time. You got some snow and stuff going on. So I feel like that actually benefits Lamar Jackson and his play style. As much as I would love to try to pick an upset here, I just think that Jacksonville is just not a team that can take advantage of it. The only other X factor is the health and the injuries, which
Ronnie Stanley is out, by the way. He is out.
So Ronnie Stanley is out, but Lamar Jackson is in. And if this hip thing isn't really as big of a deal, and I know some people have already said he's already had this hip injury and he's played through it, I don't see it being a factor in this game. So like I said, as much as I would love to pick Jacksonville, I'm going to go with Baltimore in this one. The numbers say it. The history just says it. It doesn't feel like one where I can say, yeah, I'm getting behind Trevor Lawrence and this Jacksonville offense to pull out the upset. Now, I did hear from this guy that comes into Bengals spaces. He's not a Bengals fan because this guy picked the Bengals to lose to, I believe, the Cleveland Browns, and he's into college football and a lot of things. I think this guy is 12 out of 15. He claimed that he thought, based off of what Vegas is showing, Vegas knows something. Now, maybe Vegas knew about the injuries to Ronnie Stanley, Kyle Hamilton, all of these guys. He couldn't understand why the spread was as close as it was, and he felt like that was a warning sign for a possible upset in this game. I just don't see it, bro. Even with the injuries coming out, I'm not seeing it. Unless Lamar Jackson is on that injury report and not playing in this game, I got to go with Baltimore.
Yeah, Lamar was a full practice today. And by the way, there's going to be a theme to Tony's pick. He did send his picks. He's picking Jacksonville Jaguars this week. Q.
Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens. They're better. I think Lamar, look, he's been inconsistent, but his defense has been good enough that they'll be able to bear whatever inconsistencies that the offense gives you this week. The Ravens are a flawed team. They're not a team that every team that can beat, though. And the Jaguars just aren't one of them.
Yeah, so obviously Stanley not playing, that is concerning a little bit. Pat McCarr is going to be playing left tackle. McCarr is like our utility O lineman. He has played left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle.
That's got to be a painful existence to be good enough to almost play every position, but not be good enough to really play any of them.
He was the one that started that year for us at center. We play against Buffalo. There was a couple overthrown, right? That was 2 years. Last year, actually. What am I talking about? Last year, he started a little bit last year and the year before, and right after that, they drafted Linderbaum, and he has played, like I said, with Stanley out. He's been left tackle. He's also played right tackle a little bit, and before all that, he used to play guard. We'll see, right? They had the other Josh Allen over there, and they have the number 1 overall pick. Another guy that I told the guys here that I wasn't not super fan of. Look, for me, control ETN. ETN has been balling. And that obviously helps with play action and opens the passing lanes. The Jaguars are one of those teams that they do have weapons. It's not a team that they're bare. They do have weapons. I think they're growing into it. My question with the Jaguars will be, I was saying this to Ace pregame. They're the new scrappy Lions. The question is, the Lions haven't been able to transition from scrappy, I'm in the game, I'm fighting, to the following year. You wanted to do that for last year, right? The Lions did that last year, but you wanted this year to translate to more wins. The question with the Jaguars is, as they get the season ending in next year, can they translate those to wins, those almost wins, to wins? I think the Ravens are hungry. I think the Ravens are experienced. I think the ability that they, with Justin Houston, JPP, those two have like glued this defense in a way that they know, like, hey, we need to do certain things, right? Roquan Smith. This is another game that we'll see, right? You brought Roquan Smith. You want to have ETN, have them in check. If ETN starts running crazy, it could be a long day for the Ravens. If you hold ETN to minimal games and the offense plays well, then you're going to take ETN out of the game, and then that's when you can just pace yourself and control the tempo of this game. I'm expecting a good game, to be honest. I think this game, the Ravens win it by 10 to 13 points. It's over there in Jacksonville. Lamar coming back to Florida, not from the area that he's from, but going back to his state. I'm assuming there's going to be people on his circle that will travel to see him in that game. So he was probably going to put a nice show for those fans. Yeah, I think
for the GM and everybody who's going to be making decisions.
Yeah, well, that's every game. That's it every game. And as of right now, the Ravens had the path to win the division, right? Last year, I said the Bengals should win the division about this time last year, and I said, and I can see the path for them winning the division. I will flip it for the Ravens this year. They should win the division. How the schedule is turning down, and they had the path to win in the division. So, if Lamar makes that happen, obviously that's another check for him in his resume, looking for that big contract. So yeah, I think the Ravens should take care of business. If they don't, it's gonna be a bad Monday here for me and in Baltimore. With that being said, I see the fan base vote 67% Ravens, so the fans are on the Ravens side. With that, Ace, let's pay some bills.
Yeah, let's talk about True Classic. Men have been plagued with bad style for far too long. Department store tees are just not designed to make you look at. They're just not. They cut corners. They give you $5 quality t-shirts without the quality fabric. And some of the premium brands, if you do get the premiums, they're going to mark it up an insane amount, costing you as much as $60 per tee. Our sponsor, True Classic, here is literally here to save the day. They're going to save you big and upgrade your style for a limited time only. You're going to get 25% off True Classic with our exclusive link, trueclassic.com/AFC North Talk. There's some men who just always look good in t-shirts. Most companies make shirts for those guys and forget about everybody else with the dad bods or the normal bodies or the other guys that like to eat the Oreos. They don't make shirts for us. True Classic is designed to make all the fellas out there feel confident in their clothes. Abs, flabs, dad bod, past the dad bod. With True Classic shirts, you're going to get the best fit. We've seen you wear your ratty t-shirts for years, little pit stains, micro holes, faded color. You can find soft comfort with better looks in so many different colors with True Classic. The True Classic tees are going to taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tight around that chest area and your shoulders. This is a desirable look that's going to help you get that achieved look for every body type. They will make sure that you get the wide shoulder, and the quality is also going to be elite. And they're going to also make sure that they offer other men's wear as well. So it's not just the t-shirts. You're going to be able to get polos, workout shirts if you want to go and hit the gym, boxer briefs designed to cradle your boys and eliminate discomfort. They make it super easy to build out your wardrobe with premium quality. And if you purchase a 6-pack or a 3-pack, the price per shirt is far more reasonable than any of those marked up t-shirts that you can see floating around. And for my listeners who are well endowed, they have long options for tall guys in up to 3XL in size. It also is 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy. And so if you aren't satisfied with the product, you can get your money back. Skinny dudes, big dudes, buff dudes, my dudes, True Classic has you covered. Once again, you can get that by going to trueclassic.com/AFC North Talk. Support our show and check them out. Free shipping over anything that's over $100. So you can say goodbye to the ratty and hello to the daddy with the best shirts on the market. True Classic. When you look good, you feel good.
And you gotta have that post-Thanksgiving shirt. You gotta have your holiday shirts. You know what I mean? Because look, the food be flowing during this month and next month. You know, so you got to make sure that you can regulate everything in. Get you a shirt that helps you out. True Classic.
Yeah, if you got the heavyweights thing going on, get on the scale, turn off the camera, go ahead and get you one of them True Classic shirts, man. You won't have to worry about Tony Perkins calling you out.
You ain't gonna be sitting there worried about how much, should I eat this much turkey? Should I, that takes all the fun out of this kind of a holiday, right? When you're trying to think about it too much. Sometimes you just got to let loose every once in a while. And that's where you let loose, but you don't want to let loose on how you look in the shirts. You get the right shirt, keep it looking good, man.
And don't let your wardrobe be dry like the turkey. Just make sure you get that right. And I think you guys are asking for the link. I believe we'll have that in the description. So definitely be sure to take a look at that. But it's trueclassic.com. That's all one word /AFC North Talk.
Yeah. And with that also, I want to give a super thanks here to Adam Holland, Dom Gasulo, being the top tier Patreons. If you want to support the show, also another way is to be a Patreon member. We do exclusive content, exclusive videos there. It's more like those videos are set up as almost like a backstage, more casual, very fun. We talk about everything. The people that are in the live, we talk about whatever they want to derail. We pick games. I mean, we've done stories. Very, very cool. Go check the Patreon out if you want to support us a little bit more. Adam Holland, Dom Gasulo, top tiers. We appreciate y'all. With that, we had a couple super chats here. We got Shannon realizing why the Ravens fire Wink. I don't know. I mean, the Giants have been better than what I thought, at least.
Yeah, the Giants, I'll just say when you have certain teams that jump out to these amazing starts, it starts to kind of turn around towards November and December. I still think that they can be a good team, but yeah, when you get that quick start.
You know what I mean? Yeah, whenever you see a good record with the team and they quarterback stink, you know what's up. It's about to go down, right? And remember when the Browns were 7-4 with Brian Hoyer? Ooh, that changed quick, right? Like when your quarterback stink, the fairy tales end. Like that just is what the league we live in.
Zach Wilson, look at that. That escalated quick.
You can only people have these fantasies in their heads about Trent Dilfer winning the Super Bowl in 2000. That was 20-something, over 20 years ago. Some of y'all weren't even born when that happened. The fact is, your quarterback stink, your team stinks. Like that's just what it's gonna be. Eventually, it's gonna catch up with you. Your quarterback stinks.
Super Saiyan here says Hootie. Shout out to you
Where
for that.
Like that Super Saiyan God avatar you got there, my guy.
And then here with a big super chat from Ben Riley says, "Hope we don't bring back Chase. Hope we don't bring Chase back too early, and cause long-term career damage, even if we don't make the playoffs. Just my meta-ethical disposition regarding health over entertainment. Also, should we fear the Bills or Chiefs? Cause I'm fine."
Yeah, I think the way that the Bengals have handled this situation from day one, they've pretty much tried to not risk any, long-term career damage. So I think that they'll be fine. I don't think he's going to play in this game. That's just the vibe that I'm kind of getting. I agree with you. There's no point in risking Jamar Chase long-term for this season. So I think that they're rolling him along pretty slowly. They're being super cautious with it. I know I reached out to his dad when this was going on, and I was just like, what's going on? And he was like, they're just honestly resting him and just being safe with the whole situation. That was when it was first announced. So I feel like that's what they're doing. The Bills or Chiefs, I'm fine too, bro. I'm really not scared of either one of those teams. I mean, the Chiefs we beat last year, I know that they're going to have a chip on their shoulder coming in, but we play both of those games at home. And if you look at the splits for the Bengals at home in terms of offense and just the way that we play in general, I'm not afraid for any of those teams when they come to Paul Brown Stadium. Or no, not Paul Brown Stadium anymore, Paycor Stadium.
Burrow Stadium.
Burrow Stadium, for sure.
Ravens Nation here says, "Why does it seem like NBA Christmas always gets way better games than NFL Thanksgiving? I'm real sick of watching
stinky
Cowboys
teams play.
Yeah, they need to
got the
switch
Lions
up,
on every Thanksgiving, man. I understand that they did it first, but they do it the worst every time. You know what I mean?
And the Cowboys, you get those two always.
Yeah, and well, I mean the Cowboys are decent this year, so that's not a problem.
How do y'all feel like if they do switch it up and your team is playing and it's a game that you could go to? Would you want to go? Like, I don't know if I could skip Thanksgiving.
And also, it's just a different type of. You too full on Thanksgiving to enjoy a good sporting event. Like you just.
Like, I love my team, dog, but it's like that's like your family. That's like the people that you don't get to see all that often. Yeah. Would you really want to go and watch a football game during the time that you
trying to watch
like enjoying
your team's football game too? Like that's the thing. I'm glad my team don't play on Thanksgiving because like I can't be around my family watching my team's game, like knowing how they make me feel. No, nobody wants that. You're supposed to act like you civilized during those moments, around your family. The moment you are least civilized is when your team takes a 12-point deficit in a football game. You want to do that in front of everybody while you got cranberry sauce on your plate. That's not fun. No, ain't nobody trying. Why
it's like that Thanksgiving ruin? You remember that video? I don't know if it was last year or whenever, but the dude that was a Cowboys fan that got mad, and then he was like, "That's why your turkey dry." He just starts going off on his whole family, and he's like,
because when you're there with the whole family, it's not people who just love the Cowboys there. It's people who kind of like the Cowboys. We're like, come on now, we got gravy. Like, you doing too much, and you are doing too much. But that's not what you want to hear when you're doing too much. That's how you end up. See, that's how you end up with them problems. Christmas Day game is different because one is basketball. You lose the Christmas Day game. Okay, we play 3 more games next week. Secondly, Christmas is a better holiday for a sport to play on than Thanksgiving. I've had this hot take all year. It is because after 6 o'clock at Christmas, you just kicking it. Like you're not really doing anything. Thanksgiving, you're eating the whole time. Like Christmas is just like, all right, well, we did the gifts, now the kids. We just waiting for them to get tired so we can take them home. Let's watch a basketball game. Low stakes. Yeah, low stakes. Keep the stakes low on the holidays. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, the Ravens played a couple years ago on Thanksgiving, but it was the night game. And so if you're gonna play any of the game, but if you're gonna play any of the game at night, I already finished Thanksgiving, right? I was just chilling, so I watched it. So, but yeah, I agree. I would prefer them not to play these games.
Could you imagine if it was like a rivalry game that they was playing on Thanksgiving? Yeah. Like, dog, ain't nobody trying to see that kind of ugly on this kind of a day.
Ace, we had to beat Tampa. Burrow could be 1-0 undefeated for life against Brady. And then every time Nova comes in, you could drop that.
That is a great point. Nova, you better hope that doesn't happen, because if I can sit up here and say Tom Brady has never beat Joe Burrow, you're not going to like that, Nova. You're not going to like that.
And then make sure you hit the like.
Ben Roethlisberger has never beaten the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. He is winless versus the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs, and he will never beat the Browns in the playoffs. Steelers fans,
it's something that Tony, when she's not here, he always reminds me. Lamar never beat the Steelers with Big Ben. He will remind me that. He's beating the Steelers, but now with Big Ben. He will remind me anytime he has a chance. But then let's talk about the Steelers.
Baker Mayfield is all-time undefeated versus Ben Roethlisberger in the playoffs.
The Steelers play the Colts. The Colts coming by a narrow margin loss against the Eagles at the end of the game. I believe this game is in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken.
It's actually in Indianapolis.
It's in Indianapolis. Okay, so it's in Indy. It's in Indy. Kenny Pickett play better against the Bengals. I would say that the offense in general had one of the better games so far. Colts are a lesser opponent, in my opinion. But I don't know. We're talking every time I talk about the Colts, people are like, "No, the Jeff Saturday magic." I'm like, really? I thought that magic was only for the one game. The magic has run out. The team has, yeah.
They almost
went up in levels of scrap.
They almost did it against.
They almost beat Philly. I mean,
they were very scrappy.
Pretty close.
You know what I mean? They have not gone up in terms of like what they can run out their offense, but in levels of scrap, they have gone up high. They almost Dan Campbell levels of scrap out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They put Matt Ryan back since Jeff Saturday came back. The offense looks a little bit better.
I honestly feel like that's all he did. He was just like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna start Matt Ryan.
Let me not start the most disappointing quarterback in Texas football history and then put in Matt Ryan. Like that might have been a good decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And after that, they have been playing better. Their linebacker, blank his name. He's out for the year. Yeah, he's out for the year. I don't know. I feel like the Steelers. I think they're gonna steal this one. I think they're gonna, and I really don't have any logic to it. Like none. I think the offense of the Colts presents challenges to the Steelers defense. They're decent against the pass. They can run the ball well. They can protect the quarterback. Those are good traits. And defense, they're good enough against a bad offense. But there's something, man. I don't know why. I think the Steelers are going to win. I'm going to go Steelers by 3. What do y'all think?
Yeah, for me, go ahead, Q.
No, go ahead. I want to hear.
I was going to say, for me, initially when I looked at this, I was thinking Pittsburgh. And then I started looking at the numbers. Believe it or not, the numbers actually favor Indianapolis. Kenny Pickett, I think I definitely feel like he's gotten better. But that was him at home. Kenny Pickett on the road has been another story. The EPA on the road has been another story. There's a lot of stuff that concerns me about Pittsburgh, I think, going on the road. And then, like, when you think about it, like, if you got these two quarterbacks, are you taking Matt Ryan or are you taking Kenny Pickett? Like, it might slightly favor Matt Ryan a little bit. Even a washed Matt Ryan, I might take versus a rookie on the road. I think that this is going to be a team that likes to really run the ball and set that up with other aspects of their offense. And the only way I see them winning this game is if the defense takes over. Like for the Steelers, it's got to be a defensive game. You got to get Minka involved, got to get TJ Watt involved. This isn't that bad of an offensive line for the Colts. And surprisingly, Pittsburgh has been keeping a lot of pressure away from their quarterback when you look at the numbers. But I honestly feel like I'm going to just go with the numbers on this one. I'm going to take Indianapolis. I think Jeff Saturday he's a former football player. Like, I get that he's only coached very minor, but I mean, this guy played in the league. Half of the coaches can't say that they ever played in the league. So to me, I think one of the things that he does is, and all he's really doing is starting Matt Ryan. Let me let my offensive coordinator do his job. Let me let my defensive coordinator do his job, and let me just worry about inspiring confidence in players that I can relate to because, hey, I've been a player before. So I think in this game, with them being at home, going against a rookie quarterback, I think that they're going to try to rattle Kenny Pickett a little early. I think that they get out of this game with a win. This is a team that just took the Eagles. They just shut the Eagles down. I don't think I can look at this Pittsburgh offense and say, even though they've got the talent, I don't think it's in the realm of the Philadelphia offense. And they were able to kind of shut that down. So I'm going to go with Indianapolis here. I think Jeff Saturday is going to get a scrappy win, a scrappy dub at home.
Scrappy dub. Go ahead, Q.
Pittsburgh's winning this one by 2 touchdowns.
He
didn't say it. You got to put it on the screen, Sonny.
No. Three scores is the limit.
2 touchdowns.
2 scores. I said 2 touchdowns.
14,
2 touchdowns.
I don't know.
If I said 17, that would be different.
That's
but
a little
14. I'm on the line, brother. But I'm in bounds. I am in bounds. That is completed pass in bounds. 2 feet in bounds. No.
Sonny, when you look at a Vegas spread and it says 14. What do you think that is? We winning by at least 14.
I did not say what the spread should be. I'm just saying Steelers going to win by 14 points. 2 touchdowns. Yeah, look, it's a tiptoe catch, but my feet were inbounds. I knew it. I dragged the foot. Yeah. Try to get me. I got you. All right. But yeah, Pittsburgh's going to win this one. I get it. That like over the last 2 weeks, it's very easy to get caught up into the Jeff Saturday thing. The same way that a lot of people got caught up into the negativity with hiring Jeff Saturday. But come on, man. This is Mike Tomlin on Monday Night Football. Like Jeff Saturday.
It is Monday Night Football. I didn't know this was Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
This is Mike Tomlin on Monday Night Football. This is like Mike Tomlin, you could argue outside of Bill Belichick, might be the best coach of his era. Like, at least like the most respected coach of his era.
Yeah, nice.
He's up there. Yep. He's not losing a game to Jeff Saturday. Like this is where it becomes apparent the downfalls of having an inexperienced head coach. It is this week. The Steelers also have been playing well the last couple of weeks. I know they did not beat the Bengals, but like they played well, better than I thought they would against them offensively. Now, again, that thing shut down in the second half, but this is not going to be a high-scoring affair. Kenny Pickett, I think at this point, even though I'm not the biggest Kenny Pickett fan, still better than what Matt Ryan has been over the last year, which has been flat terrible. Like there's a reason why Sam Ehlinger was playing, because he's that bad, or Matt Ryan's been that bad. Like, the wheels are falling off for this whole Jeff Saturday thing. And I think this is going to become apparent that, okay, the Colts are done. They're done. They're absolutely done. They got the miracle win. We all predicted it, that they're going to get the one win with him, and then the things are going to fall off the rails here. I get where people could believe it, but this offensive line's not good for the Colts. I don't believe in it. And then TJ Watt's there. Was TJ Watt healthy still? Did he get hurt during the Bengals game?
No,
he was healthy. He didn't have
an so yeah, TJ Watt's still there.
Jalen Warren, I think, is the only one.
Yeah. So they're fine. They're fine. They'll win. Even though their best running back's hurt. I think Pittsburgh. I would take Pittsburgh heavily here. And look, this is a Tomlin game. They will Tomlin this one out. And then look, for the Colts to win, they would have to play a Tomlin game to beat the Steelers, right? That's the kind of games they have to play because their offense is terrible. Who are you taking in a Tomlin game? Mike Tomlin or Jeff Saturday? I'm taking Tomlin. Like, this has Mike Tomlin victory written all over it.
Okay, so AC is a lone wolf because
that lone wolf, dog.
Yeah, because of Tony's.
Because he's a hater of the Steelers. Which I don't think he would.
I just think honestly, now the Monday Night Football I was not aware of, and honestly, if you would have just told me this before I looked at the numbers, I would have definitely went Steelers. I thought it was an easy game for the Steelers. Then I looked at the numbers and I was like, "Oh no, dog, I don't know."
The chat concurs with Ace though with 61% on the Colts. Okay, let's go Browns now, Q. Your team against I don't even know if Noah Stone's still here around. But if he's here, he will super chat. Oh, by the way, let me take the super chat real quick because we had two here that did it a little bit ago. Hot take question: who needs more psychological help, the Lions or Ye? Come on.
Or yeah.
Come on.
I think that's Kanye and a landslide.
Yeah.
Yeah, times 3.
And man just said he running for president, man. I don't know what's happening there.
I'm just gonna not pay attention to him no more. KB says Q this season has been the worst Browns. Every season's the worst Browns Twitter season. Every season's the worst, bro. What? We were 11-5 arguing about what? Is Odell the reason that the Browns can't be successful? Like we really did that. We went 11-5 and we couldn't not talk about how Odell was the reason we stink and why we need to get rid of Odell. We always trying to fire somebody on Browns Twitter. Like it's just every year is the worst year on Browns Twitter. It's just what it is.
I will say though, Q, I'm getting kind of fed up at this whole OBJ sweepstakes. He's going on visits.
Oh my God,
with NFL. Like, bro, I'm so tired of this, bro. Like, is he that good? Do y'all think that he's that good still?
No, he's just really popular. This is what wanes on fans, right? He's a really popular player. So you get all of this and you're like, okay, well, we're making too much out of this. And then you get his stands. Like, there's a reason why. Like, it's not Odell's fault that he runs into these problems, but it's just he's Odell. It's like T.O., right? T.O.'s kind of a similar case where T.O.'s last year in the NFL wasn't even bad with the Bengals, right? I think Flemlo pointed that out in the video. Where he was all right. It's just T.O. All the shit that follows T.O. is just a circus. You know what I mean? And that's why people just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and with that, Q, so I was saying, y'all against Brady.
I got a very simple prediction. We go up by 10. We go up by 10. Browns have an 80% chance of winning, in my opinion. They'll probably win the game. If we go up by 10 early, we'll win the game. If we end halftime down 3, we're losing the game. We're losing the game. Because we'll go down 10 because we're not going to win the coin toss. The Buccaneers are going to get the ball back. They're going to score on that first drive, and then they'll be able to run the ball the rest of the game. And yeah, you might say, Tampa Bay can't run the ball. Hey, baby, everybody can run the ball versus the Browns. Like, I'm not even joking. Everybody can do it. This isn't a whole, like, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this. Anybody can run the ball against the Browns. Like, I think there are a good amount of college teams right now that could get 100 yards on the ground versus the Browns in the right situation. That's how bad it's been. So, and I'm being so serious when I say that. So that's my prediction. If the Browns can avoid going down 10, they'll win this game. If they don't, then they will. If they don't get up early in this game, then they're going to lose because they stink defensively.
Okay, so I'm going to present another question. And I think I know what you're going to say. If they win this game, with Deshaun coming back, are the Browns' playoff hope still alive?
Technically. Technically. Am I getting excited about it? No. Like, until it becomes clear that, like, we need a team to lose for the Browns to get into the wild card picture, then it's technical, but I'm not getting excited about it, right? Like, it's technically possible that I could still run into Megan Good and we can get married and have 3 kids together. That don't mean I'm sitting here getting excited about meeting Megan Good. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, that just is what it is.
Yeah. Because the problem, different from the Bengals play a couple of teams, they're going to be in that playoff picture. If you guys win, right? And just for the sake of argument, the Bengals lose. Bengals are 6 loss. You guys are a 7 loss. All right, you're just a game there, and you guys play each other once. In theory, you could make that game against them. The problem is, other than that Bengals game, you don't have any other opponent in that playoff picture. You have a lot of NFC teams and the Texans.
It's hard. it's hard. We have like 7 AFC losses, so it's like, again, I would love to be in a relationship with somebody like Megan Thee Stallion, but like, unless Megan's sitting right in front of me, it's not even a conversation worth having, thinking about. You know what I mean? It's technically possible. It could happen, but I am not remotely in the position to take it seriously yet.
Gotcha. Ace, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, man. Let me just bring something up real quick. Since Nova Stone, you listening? All right, you good? All right, here we go. 19, 20, 12, 31, 21, 18, 3, 22, 16, 21. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have only scored 30 points one time this season. Like, I was looking at the numbers. Damn. And the thing that stuck out the most, first half scoring, second half scoring. I'm like, okay. So I look at first half scoring and I'm like, okay, first half scoring for them, not too bad. Not too bad for them. Well, actually, no, they're 30th. They suck. Second half, okay, they got to be better than that in the second half, right? They got to be in the top 15. 21st in the second half. This team can't score, dog. Like they can't score. They've been getting wins. It's been scrappy wins, and a lot of it has been because of their first half defense. Their first half defense has only allowed, I forget the exact number, but they're number 1 against any team, and then they're 12th in the second half. This is a defensive team in Tampa Bay. Even with all of these weapons that we see, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, all of these guys that they have, Leonard Fournette, who's not playing in this game, they can't score. Like the Cleveland Browns, they might not be able to stop the run or any of that. The one thing that the Cleveland Browns can do, score. I think that they have a really good chance of actually winning this game after looking at these numbers and this offense. Mm-hmm. If I'm just going off of this is Tom Brady and his history of him being that guy, I would probably sit here and pick Tampa Bay. The Browns at home that have been at least a pretty good offense. You talk about top 5 here when you look at the splits. You talk about the rushing offense is 3rd, the passing offense is 13th. Like, they're going to score, bro. Like, that's what they do. They're 6th in the league when it comes to the splits on scoring. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns in this game because they can score. I don't trust that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can score. I just don't trust it. Even with this win streak that they've had, they're not scoring points. Like if your second biggest total after 30 is like 22, dog, I can't trust that. I can't trust, like, the Cleveland Browns could put up 20 in their sleep. Probably in the first half, they might put up 20, at least through 3 quarters. I don't believe that Tampa Bay can do that. We'll have to see. I mean, yeah, they can run the ball and all of that. The only way that they keep this game, I think, in a position for them to win is if the defense just stifles the Browns offense. But we haven't seen many people do that this season. Like, we've seen the Browns lose games other ways. We haven't seen it be because they can't score. So for me, I'm going to take the Browns on this one. I'm not convinced that Tampa Bay can score. I'm not convinced.
I would like to point out a self-owned that I just saw in chat. Okay, so Diddy and Raven Runaway, Be More Ravens Gunny were having an argument. And Diddy said something about the Ravens going to repeat, going 14-3 and losing in the first round, to where B More had a great comeback in his mind, which he said, Diddy, the only repeat is y'all losing the Super Bowl. Stop it. So you're saying the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl this year? Like, like that is not the kind of repeat that you wish on an opponent.
That wasn't the comeback they wanted. That was more of a compliment, but
I am sorry, young man or young woman or fella, whoever that was, but you done owned yourself on that one. Yeah. Points awarded to Diddy. All right, plus 3 points there.
I will say this about this game. By the way, Tony is picking the Buccaneers again.
Tony is taking everybody not named the Steelers. I wonder why.
It's a theme. By the way, I'm gonna tell you what Tony sent us. He said Steelers, Titans, Jaguars, Bucs, #hater mode. That was Tony's message to us. That being said, I agree with everything that A said. The only wrinkle here is Bucs are coming from a bye, right? And coming out of bye, if Tom Brady being that guy, if Todd Bowles hopes to be a coach in the going future, this is a game that they almost have to win, right? They're and also to keep in pace on winning that division. That's the only thing I can see how the Bucs win. I usually think that the Browns, without Watson right now, are a better team than this Buccaneers. The Buccaneers haven't played a good football team or football game in a while. I cannot even tell you the last time that they look really good. Every time, I mean, they played us, but every time I see them play, they don't look good. Tom Brady, by the way, Tom Brady looks old. For the first time, he looks human. Yeah, man, I think they're not that great against stopping the run. They're not that good either against the pass defense. And if you flip it on the other side, that offense is even worse, right? They barely beat the Rams, which have been in a free fall in a last second because the Rams cannot close any games at this point, right? So this team right now is not good. I think they're gonna make the playoffs, Tampa, by default, because nobody in the South wants to win the division. So they're gonna make the playoffs because of default. And once you're in the playoffs, who knows? Anything can happen. Let's be honest. In the playoffs, you can get the ball bounced in one game towards you, and you can win a game. But this team ain't good. And I think the Browns, for all the things that we want to say against the Browns, are still better than this team. And I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win outright. With that being said,
4-7, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Yo.
6-0, and we're going to barely miss the playoffs with a 10-7 record. But you know what? That's going to do well for me because that offseason energy is going to be very, very nice. You know what I mean?
That's good for content.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. Just do it for me. You know what I mean? Just like 10-7 ain't going to help nobody but me.
Yeah, no. If Watson comes and y'all go like 3,
it's not like our first round pick matters this year, anyways.
No, you don't have a first round. Do you have a second round?
Watson goes like 6-0. We're gonna go undefeated next year. The hype's gonna be unreal. The Bengal Brown spaces are gonna be unreal. We will be talking as if we won the Super Bowl while the Super Bowl is happening. Like we will be going crazy this offseason. I just want y'all to know. Y'all think Bengals Twitter gets bad? Y'all think Ravens Twitter gets bad or Steelers Twitter gets bad with something? Let the Browns finish the year somehow and get to 10-7. They missed the playoffs. The important thing is they missed the playoffs, so they don't end the year on the L. Let us go 10-7, and miss the playoffs. You will hear a outrageous offseason from our fans, the likes of which you have never seen in your life. We will be in every space talking about how we are the UCF of this year because we should be the national champions. We just weren't allowed to play in the tournament, dog. Like we about to be going nuts. Let us mess around and win 7 in a row. It's not impossible, but the run defense does kind of make it that kind of thing ridiculous because we're not winning 7 games in a row when we can't stop somebody from getting 200 yards on the ground.
By the way, chat says Bucs at 64%, and look who's here.
64? That's cool, bro.
Nova Stone with another appearance says Tom Brady only looks old when his receivers can catch.
Why can't his receivers catch the ball though, Nova Stone? Maybe because he can't get the goddamn ball to him. I don't know. Maybe that's something we should think about.
Okay, with that, we had the marquee matchup of this week. Titans, Bengals. And by the way, I don't know about y'all. Not that we have beaten that many times in the recent history, the Ravens, but beating the Titans is always sweet. Because that team, talk about a team that likes to be disrespectful, and the fans. I'm surprised.
I did not like some Titans, boy. That was funny because I knew it was coming. We had a space, and it was a Ravens fan as a speaker and a Titans fan as a speaker. And I told them, I said, watch, when they get in here, it's going to get rowdy. It got very spicy for a very long time.
That they turned into North and South Korea very fast. Like There's an explosive element between these two fan bases.
Think about this, Q. Remember when y'all played the Titans like an opening game? The Titans love being disrespectful. The Titans feed.
They feed. They Mike Vrabel, they coach. That's their whole identity, is just being outwardly disrespectful, and then doing the shock Pikachu face when people be disrespectful back to them, which ultimately makes people hate you, right? And that's the thing. Browns and Steelers fans hate each other off principle, right? We all hate each other in this fan base, in this division, off principle, because we know we're not supposed to. Not because any of the teams do anything that personally offends us. That's a different hate. The hate between not Bengal fans, Baltimore fans and Tennessee fans, is that on a human level, as a person, they feel like they can't F with how the Titans get down. And the Titans feel the same way about y'all. And that's why y'all hate each other. And it's hilarious because John Harbaugh, and Mike Vrabel could not be two of the more different people in this world.
By the way, Titans were the first rivalry that the Ravens did have. I forgot what the name of the division used to be before the AFC North was constructed. I'm going to start with you, Ace. I'm going to start with you. Tell me what you see about this game. This is an intriguing game. There's the Titans are running high, right? People are talking good against the Titans. They barely lost. A couple weeks ago, they barely lost to somebody. I forgot who. But obviously, Henry playing well, and they have Tannehill back. That could be a good or it could be a bad thing. But what Malik was doing, it wasn't it. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, this is starting to become a game that the Bengals in the last two have won. You talk about the playoff game. You talk about Joe Burrow right when he was turning the corner for his career early on. It was the Titans game. It was the game that nobody really expected the Bengals to win in 2020. You get back to this game, and there's a lot of people that aren't on that Titans team that were there last year. But the one thing I will say, and some people might not believe this because of obviously the Super Bowl, I still think that Tennessee Titans front was one of the most hardest fronts that we faced that entire playoff run. I really gained a lot of respect for them. But unfortunately, some of the guys that were in that game will not be in this game. A guy that really jumped off of the film and in that game for me, the last time we played them, Denico Autry, he's got a knee injury. If you don't know that guy, whenever you play the Titans, you will know that guy. Everybody knows Jeffrey Simmons, but no one's really familiar with the other guys. They also have Harold Landry out as well. They're a bend but don't break defense. They're like a team that is 30th in the league in passing, but the red zone numbers are where they're extremely impressive. You talk about their red zone numbers as well as their third down numbers. They're like near the top in the league. I thought the Bengals were a good third down defense with getting teams up off of the field. They're better than us when it comes to that rate when you look at it. This is a team that I feel like is one-dimensional. You know, they want to run Chris Henry, Derrick Henry. They want to run at you. They want to do their thing. The thing that's interesting, though, is that even though they're a top 10 rushing offense, at home they haven't been good. They've actually been 25th. I don't know if that's just, a wild coincidence or what it is, but apparently when they're at home, they don't do that. The other thing, too, is I thought that this was a little odd, and I'm not trying to mental health is very serious to me, but I thought that it was pretty odd that Ryan Tannehill this offseason admitted that he had to go to therapy after that playoff loss against the Bengals. That to me says, okay, well, what does that, when we play this team, when you play this exact team that beat you and you threw 3 interceptions to get them against them at home, you're once again playing them at home. How does he react when someone gets him with another interception? Is he already past that moment? Is it going to be out of his head? Is he going to be second guessing himself? Those are things that I want to know in this game. Derrick Henry, he's going to be there. The one guy that isn't going to be there, though, that I've been talking to Titans fans this week, and they've really been kind of downplaying, and they even said that they upgraded their passing attack, is A.J. Brown. I mean, Cheeto was shutting guys down left and right last year. The only guy that got off on him, A.J. Brown, and then honestly was on a deep pass that Ryan Tannehill just put it on the money. A.J. Brown made a hell of a catch, and it was a touchdown. They don't have him now. And, the rookie that they have there, that's cool and all. But to me, at the end of the day, it's not A.J. Brown. They do have Austin Hooper. But, for me, this isn't a team that's going to be able to attack the Bengals' biggest weakness, I feel like, at this point on defense, which is the passing, the pass defense. They're not going to be able to really attack those corners. So I think the things that favor the Bengals in this game, pass defense is 30th. What do the Bengals do? What is our offense based on? Passing the ball. You got Joe Burrow coming off of FedEx Air Player of the Week last week, throwing for 335 and 4 tutties on Pittsburgh. Now he gets to go against a pass defense that's 30th. I just think that even without Jamar Chase, this spells that this team could really set themselves up passing the ball through the air. And if they shut down Derrick Henry with a guy who was an X factor for us in DJ Reader last season when we played them in the playoffs, I think if they can do that, score early and often, it's going to be hard for Tennessee, I think, to keep up with them. Tennessee can win this game, though. Don't get me wrong. I think that these are two good teams. I just think that the weaknesses of what they have, the Bengals will be able to exploit it. I'd love to see what they can do against T. Higgins. And if Christian Fulton doesn't play in this game, who's their number one corner for a pass defense that's 30th in the league, I don't know how Joe Burrow and the Bengals lose that game. And honestly, obviously, you can't turn the ball over. Now, Ryan Tannehill, I will say, he's not turning the ball over as much as he was back then, but he really wasn't going into that playoff game either. But the thing that I saw when I watched them play the Packers a few weeks ago, Ryan Tannehill gave the Packers a chance to win the game with the turnover at the end. The Packers just couldn't do anything with it. He tried to Ryan Tannehill the game away, but they just couldn't take advantage of it. If he does any of that Ryan Tannehill stuff in this game, I think the Bengals can take advantage of it and get to him and cause some interceptions and try to come out of here with a victory. So I've got the Bengals in a close one. I'm going to say it's probably going to be 30-20, and that's the other thing. They only average like 20 points at home, the Titans do. I'll give them 25, though. I'll say 30-25 Bengals.
30-25.
Oh, and Joe Mixon is out. I forgot to mention that. Joe Mixon is out. I mean, to me, they already are a good run defense. We saw Samaje Perine step in last week. The only thing you can hope for, and another thing was Trevion looked pretty good on the one run that he did get. The only thing that I would like to see is Samaje, a little bit of Chris as well, and possibly Trevion. It might end up being a Samaje and Trevion kind of thing, though, so we'll have to see. But I just don't think that this is the team that you run against. If the team is 30th in the league in passing, and when you look at the numbers from NFLsavant.com, 63% of the time teams are passing on them instead of running. I mean, does Joe Mixon being out really matter unless he's catching the ball? I just don't see that being the recipe for them to get this victory over Tennessee.
Q, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting game just because of how it's being determined, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Bengals here. Like, I'm big on the Bengals. I think the Bengals been playing well. I just have a hard time believing that Tennessee can get the offense going at the level that it needs to be able to beat the Bengals, right? Bengals offense, the last few weeks, they had put up 42. Ever since the Browns beat them, 42 points and then 37. So they've been almost averaging 40 the last couple of weeks. I just don't think Tennessee is able to keep up. So even though they've been playing well, the defense is really good, and they were able to create problems for them last year, especially in the interior. I think ultimately this would be the Bengals. Be a close game though, but I think I'm gonna go Bengals here.
Yeah. So for me, the interesting. By the way, Tony picked the Titans. But for me, the interesting thing here is, are the Titans gonna play a different style of defense? And what I mean about that is, they know they're good against the run. And the Bengals, let's be honest, they're okay running the ball. That's what Mixon. They're okay. Obviously, their forte is passing the ball. But are they going to then key on and try to play a little bit a different defense just to try to prevent the passing game? Because they're not that good against the pass, making sure that they don't get burned on the passing side. And if they do that, how much would that affect on the running side? And then if that the Bengals start running the ball more effectively, not saying gashing them, but just effective runs, then will they then panic and start bringing people a little bit down and going back to the more base defense? And will the Bengals be able to attack them on the air? I just think matchup-wise, the Bengals present a lot of problems to that defense. Offensively, the Bengals present a lot of problems to that defense. The other thing, I think the Bengals will, in the case of the running backs, I think, and I told this to Ace before the stream, that the running backs will keep eating on the passing game as well. On the other side, can the Bengals stop Henry? That's the big thing. If they can stop, let me rephrase that, not stop, limit Henry. Because if you can limit Henry, then that's game for them. If Henry's running all over the place against you, well, now they can control the time of possession, they can control the game, they can control the flow, and then definitely you put even more pressure on your offense, right? But also that defense can play loose if they know that offense is playing good. I think that offense for the Titans is limited, as Q said, and I think the Bengals will have more offensive power. I think the Titans will come with a game plan. They might be too cute and might get them in trouble, and eventually Joe Burrow is going to hit them because the running game will open just so slightly enough to then get them with a play action. This is a game that T. Higgins should get featured again. She had a decent game, and the running backs over there in the flat over there should be should have open places. The D line for the other thing is could be scary is that D line, right? The D line for the Titans is hellacious and could wreck a game. The O line for the Bengals that's almost a key in every game. Can they hold that D line? Can they make sure the Burrow is semi clean, right? Not a lot of pressure, obviously. But I had the Bengals, to be honest. I feel like I think this might be the first time I pick every single AFC North team. But I had the Bengals in this game. I had the Bengals winning by 10. I actually think the Bengals will be comfortable. I think the Bengals jump into a lead and it almost like stalls. Like the games will like basically pause. And then might be somebody here or there. I think this game is 27-17. Not Ravens, sorry, Bengals.
I will say that though that Titans D line is the defensive line is underrated for sure.
They're amazing.
That Danico Autry dude, bro. I had nightmares about that dude after we played them in the playoffs. That dude was crazy.
Yeah, Simmons also no joke. But Dupree's playing.
Jeffrey Simmons, yeah.
Is Bud Dupree playing? Do you know?
You said is who playing?
Dupree.
What? Dupree is playing. I think he's back this week.
Yeah. Okay, Noah Stone here says Tom Brady saving his power for his Super Bowl run with the 49ers.
With the 49ers.
For Ace. Is P. Ryan
starting? Yes, because what's going to happen, teams are going to play cover 2. Joe's going to dump it down to Samaje, and he could easily run it in for a touchdown or they get in the goal line area for sure. I think he's at least good for 1 touchdown in this game for sure.
Yeah, I actually picked him up. I was telling Ace that I picked him up and I was starting him. By the way, y'all, Bengals 58% for this one as well.
I mean, don't forget, it wasn't too long ago before Joe Mixon started to recover during that rough start. There was a lot of people saying that Samaje P. Ryan at the beginning of the season was outplaying Joe.
Yeah, it's if you want a running back to start doing better, just tell them that you're gonna bench him soon, and that running back.
And he pass protects too, so he's probably gonna be close to a 3-down back in this game.
Let me tell you something. Look, Jamar Chase may not have ruined the Bengals offense when he went out, but he sure ruined my fantasy football team's offense. Oh my. I ain't won a game since he been hurt. He been hurt, 3 weeks?
Bro. Me too,
4
bro.
weeks?
I needed him to play this week. Yeah, it's been a while.
I was 5-2 when he got hurt, dog. I'm 5-6.
Yeah.
Jamar, man.
Same. I got that same feeling, Quincy. I was just like the 2nd seed. Now I'm like the 8th.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
I've been having a panic trying to. I was just terrible break.
Yeah, no, my fantasy team is literally.
And this is a good juicy matchup for him too, and he's not probably not gonna play in this game.
Yeah.
It's been Stephon Diggs and the Pips on my damn fantasy team.
My running back room is my biggest problem. The receiving core is okay. Running back room.
Waddle for me been trying to hold it down. It got so nasty. Quincy, I don't think you saw this a few weeks ago. That's why I pulled the trade for Allen Robinson, dog. That's how nasty it was. In the 14-team league, I had to trade for Allen Robinson. That's how nasty.
We all know. Once you have reached the point in which Allen Robinson becomes the solution to your problems, you have a problem that you cannot feel with an in-season solution. Like
I had to hit the button. I had to spend all the fab on Christian Watson last week because I'm like, look, I cannot continue to depend on Allen Robinson. We just can't do this. Throw the 150 on it. Throw the 150 on it. I'm sorry.
You know when you made the Allen Robinson trade, you had me in your head too. Like you talking about them Allen Robinson, knowing damn well he good for what was it, point per reception? So at two, maybe 6 points on a good game. You know what I mean? 14 on a great. If he gets a touchdown.
Season so far. He got paid though. He got paid.
He had his best game of I think the season last week.
Dog, he ain't had a good season since like.
And now he's immediately questionable and probably not about to play.
Allen Robinson had a good year like 3 years now. Like, you mean he had a good year this year? This is what Allen Robinson has been doing for a little while. Like this. It's like I cursed him because he was putting up better numbers than this before I said anything about it. Like I feel bad on some level.
Your bad energy got to him.
Them 14-teamers, dog, is nasty out there. Zay Jones is like the top dude on waivers right now. It's nasty.
Ooh, it's rough.
Zay Jones and Matt Collins. That's how bad.
I'm finding the running back. Mine's got hurt. All of them. Like.
Yeah, that's not good. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell because we're coming back next week. I'm still not sure we're going to come Monday or Tuesday because obviously the Steelers play on Monday. That's why you have to hit the bell. That's why you have to follow us on Twitter so you know. Also, our Patreon is there if you want to do all the support. And by the way, with as Q said, with the holidays here, if you want to upgrade that shirt game, you want to make sure you look good, go check our sponsor, True Classic. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace out.